which is kind of necessary in dealing a lot of damage because I believe it was round 3 has like 3 Earth units, and you'll get a lot of points from that. So I think that's one of the units that a lot of people like to bring. Another unit is Zel Knight. A lot of people like Zel Knight because he gives BB more heart crystals, and he can refill some of your units' brave bursts or super brave bursts if they don't even have them yet. So he's very versatile and kind of helps people stay alive. I guess the last unit that I've seen everybody bringing is Elsa, because Elsa has a 30 hit combo, 70% spark damage, and in general, keeping up SPBs and increasing damage through sparks helps a lot, especially when you're bringing teams with double Maxwells. And even if you aren't bringing teams with double Maxwells, I think Elsa is still a good unit to bring, just because you get added damage, extra hits, that probability of curse. A lot of people forget about that, but it still plays a factor if you can curse units. That way you don't get AoE damage on your team.
Yeah. Lance, is Lance here right now?
I see him in chat.
Okay. Well, maybe Lance can answer some questions in chat.
Guys, I'm back now.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
He's alive.
Yeah, Pika thought he was being a part of the show, but he wasn't. So, yeah, he was sitting in my seat, so he just got off, and then I got in the seat. So, yeah, it's better now. All right, so
yeah. So yeah, we were talking about Frontier Hunter, and I guess I have a question for you, Lance. Because Nova went over some of the best squads and some of the alternatives. So my question to you is, what advice can you give to beginners?
I think this is what I've been doing for my friends. My friend, he's pretty much free to play. He doesn't spend a lot of money, and he hasn't got Maxwell yet. So one of the things he asked me was, like, how do you get your Leguan? You know, I've been doing this Terminus over and over, and I haven't been able to beat it. It's because I don't have Maxwell. And so so the thing is, I got onto his account, and I was able to complete it for him. Unfortunately, we don't have enough points to get a Maxwell. But the thing is, you can definitely clear Terminus without Maxwell, and if I try it maybe 2 or 3 more times, I might be able to get the Leguan for him. But the thing is, if you don't have an extra Maxwell, it's a lot harder to get points, because Maxwell brings in spark, he brings in damage, he brings in elements of weakness, and if you only have one of that, then you're missing out on a whole lot of damage. So if you can't one-shot the team, what you have to build is build tanky. So a lot of the bosses are Lightning Darkness now. So what's really nice is you can actually bring in a Grawl Leader, and that's what I did for him. He was never able to complete it, but I was able to complete it because I brought in a Grawl Leader. And so that what the Grawl Leader did was give him more stats, and he made the enemy hit them for less and hit them for more. So Grawl really helped out. And excuse me. And what he was telling me was that he always ran out of the potions to get rid of status elements. You know, he said all the enemies gave him status element, and he kept running out of them. And how can he fix this? And so what I did was I brought in the L-Tree. And L-Tree really fixed everything, so that's what I did for him.
Okay, and just to round out the Frontier Hunter discussion, what set did you guys bring in? What item set do you recommend?
I'm gonna start this off. Depends on what unit you're using. If you're using the set that double Maxwell your team, then you want to bring in the Marauder set with the fusions.
Okay.
But if your team is weaker or you don't have double Maxwell, then you want to bring in like Protector set and just go for the long fight. And Nova listed all the really popular units, but what I really liked was a Raiden. I brought in a 6-star Raiden, and I found out that his spark buff and his armor defense ignore buff really helped out. For example, sometimes when I'm doing the Terminus, if I don't bring Raiden, I don't have enough damage to kill in the Magris. And the Magris, he has like a lot of defense. So if you're unlucky and you don't crit him, he'll live. But the thing is, if you bring like a Raiden with the defense ignore buff and the spark buff, you're able to one-shot the Magris, no problem. So.
Sounds good. Is there anything else you want to add, Nova?
Yeah. As for me, the team I'm running, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were curious to see what team like we would use to get to near like 2 million points. A lot of it is, I believe, Maxwell sparking with the second Maxwell if you're running double Maxwell, because that really helps rack up, because if you can get like 30 hits lined up to spark just that way, it's a lot of points, because a lot of the points you do get in this Frontier Hunter really do help with sparking bonuses. So what I ran was an SGX Michelle. I was playing around with Zell Knight and Elza, but I decided to drop my Zell Knight for a Dia, because the one thing that I couldn't kill consistently was actually Fee, because I was able to get enough damage with double Maxwells and SGX and on Magris and Eric, but I didn't have that Thunder element, so if I didn't even crit on Fee, like, she would live, and that just made me sad. So I added Dia in there for the extra Thunder element, and she's also a fire unit, so that helps with the base attack fire, because a lot of the units in this Frontier Hunter Terminus are Earth, and a lot of them are Dark. So a lot of people really should focus, if they're bringing Maxwell, to get that extra damage in for fire and light units. Dark is kind of a given, because a lot of people that have SGX switching over from Zebra to Maxwell, I think that helps out a lot.
Okay. Well, I know Nova, you've gotten 2 million points in Terminus, and Lance has it's very close to it. So, but you guys already have Tillith, right?
Yeah.
You guys already have Tillith, yeah. So. All right, we're going to move on to the trials. Now, Nova, you want to remind people what the trials are? Because it's been a while. What are the trials?
So, the trials, I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to forget about them, but the first time they came around, it was the first time that new people and a lot of veteran players experienced dying a lot. I'm not sure if you guys remember the first trial of the gods. I believe it was 1 through 3, and the most difficult one was 2, because you would fight Weiss, and he would just reflect all your damage to your units, and then you'd end up with like 1 HP units, and the fight was really drawn out, so you really had to come up with a specific team comp if you didn't want to gem through it. Gemming through it really helps if you are tired and lazy and don't want like, you really don't want to put up with it, because it is really annoying, and RNG can really hurt you. So they brought that back with levels 4 through 6. I was expecting it to be even more difficult, and it was. So just like going into it, this is before like any guides came out. I just went in to do level 4 with like I had double Maxwell, so let's try critting everything. Brought ignore defense as well. That didn't work, because I hit, I think it was Amelia, through her 70% and 50% HP markers, and you can't even crit her, so she won't die. And I killed May, and I got 1 shot, and that was fun. And then I tried it again.
Was this on stream?
No, because as soon as it came out, like, it was like really early in the morning, so I just wanted to see how difficult it was.
Okay.
And yeah, it was difficult. Because I ran it again, this time I knew that I'd have a difficult time fighting Amelia and May, and like still not knowing anything, I brought in like a Thunder team, thought it would be okay, but it wasn't, because they gave themselves a fire element and like bonus attack, and like crit me and killed me, and that was fun too. So eventually I brought in, I believe it was like 2 Zell Knights, a Dilma, a Darvin Shell. I brought an Xville for the status element removal, and I believe it was a Lilith for the sustained damage. I was able to beat Amelia, but I did die. My units died, so I had to bring the revive um, lights and a regular revive, and then I was able to make it through with like 4 units. And then Behemoth was just a pain because he didn't really do any damage. He just shielded himself up, so it was a really drawn out fight, and that was painful. And then I don't even want to talk about level 5 because that was scary. I died like 5 times on that because I brought in crit team once again. Bad thing to do. Crit teams do not work on these trials. And I basically got one shot by dual mechs twice, and then I guarded turn 1, and then I got through the second stage, and I just died from like constant status elements, and my BB gauge was drained, so had to rethink about that. Looked at what percentages I needed to look out for. Then I got to Liko, and I don't think I've ever faced so much despair in one battle, because after going through all of that, like I'm left with like no items, no units, left with BB gauges, and I'm just like, oh my god. So it's like she drains and like curses your entire team of their like BB gauges and HP bars, and I'm just like struggling to stay alive. And then I got down to like 20%, and then I just got nuked. And I just spent a gem, killed her in like 2 turns, and I was like, oh my god, never again.
Well, guys,
but I'll probably do it again.
This is Nova we're talking about, who has like all the units and dual spheres, so I'm actually kind of afraid of attempting it myself. Now I want to see the viewers, whichever viewers have like attempted the trials 4 through 6. Tell us how you did, and did you guys spend any gems? If you did, how many? I'm really curious to see how you guys did. Okay, Lance, what do you think about the trials?
Well, the trials are difficult. I think they were more difficult than the last one, and I only recently just did the trial 1, 2, 3. I was gonna do it last time, but then I was gonna leave it for the weekends, and then on the weekend I got busy, so I wasn't able to complete the trials 1 through 3. So I completed the trials 1 through 3 before I could do 4, and I ran 1 through 3 without reading anything. I just went in and I just finished them without any issues. But when I got to trial 4, Amelia, she was pretty tough. I tried almost everything. I used, like for example, I used angel idols, but that didn't help because the thing is, she'll take you down. She'll take you down to 1 HP, but then she'll do a basic attack again, and that will get rid of your angel idol. And so yeah, it kills you even though you're using angel idols. So what I ended up doing was just building a team that can hit as hard as possible. And so what happens was I just hit her as hard as I can, and then she's gonna kill me, and then I just use 1 gem, and then I revive, and then I got full BB, and then I just wiped her out. And it was worth it because, yeah, you use a gem, but then you get a gem back, so it's like it was worth it. I haven't done the rest of the trials yet because I need to record them, and I just don't want to just finish it and then not have recording. So, but I'm definitely gonna be doing them today and probably tomorrow. So, well, I'm looking forward to it. I think the sphere that you get is gonna be worth it, and I think everyone should try to do it if they can. But if you guys can't, then don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring it back again. So it seems like this isn't gonna go anywhere. It's gonna eventually close up, but I think when it open up again, you guys will be a lot stronger, and then you guys can just climb from trial 4 or climb from trial 1 and finish all of them within the week. So yeah.
So it looks like a lot of people used 0 to 1 gems to beat Liko. So
yeah,
wow.
It's worth it because you get like so much bonuses for beating them. So if it costs you 1 gem, fine. But if you're spending like 5-10 gems, then maybe your team isn't ready yet. So maybe spend those gems on your team and make them stronger. Yeah, and then it'll help you out in the future too. Just not this trial, but if you have a strong team, you can use them for future trials. So yeah, invest in your team.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind when I attempt the trials later tonight. Okay, the next dungeon, Vortex dungeon we're talking about is going to be Selena. Selena dungeon's been out for a week or so. So now we have Maxwell. We have Selena. Is it possible to one-turn kill Selena, Lance?
It's definitely yeah. It's really easy to one-turn kill her. Like I went through her dungeon like so quickly that I don't even remember what happened because it felt like just like a regular quest auto battle. You know, it feels like battling one of the end game bosses at the end of the long quest on the map. You know, they die like so quickly. I didn't have any issues with her. If you guys have double Maxwell, like it's like no issue. But if you guys only have a single Maxwell, I think it'll be RNG. If you can crit her enough, then you might be able to one-shot her. But if not, then you guys should start building like a ticking team and just tink it out. So yeah, but her sphere is definitely worth it though. Yeah, her sphere is definitely worth it. Out of the Halloween sphere and the sphere, I prefer the sphere. So.
Okay, and so I guess Nova, what do you think about the sphere? I believe it's called Lexida. And what units can you put it on?
Well, I think Lexida is one of the spheres that...
Okay, let me mute my mic.
Okay.
Okay. So, Lexida is one of the spheres I think that everybody should get because a lot of times in Arena, people need Brave Bursts, and doubling the standard hit counts of your units in general makes them generate a lot more battle crystals. So just for the fact that you're getting a chance at double the battle crystals, it really doesn't matter what unit you put it on, in a sense, because you'll generate more battle crystals that way, as well as getting extra HP and recovery. But in general, you want to use it on units that generate not just a lot of hits, but a lot of drop checks. So units like Elsa, Melchio, Lucina, Gribe, Kuda, those are all really high battle crystal drop check units. You'll get 60 plus. That's a chance. And if you don't have those, other units like Zell Knight who have like high 20s are good to put them on because just having one of those will kind of guarantee multiple Brave Bursts no matter what kind of team comp you're running. And if you combine Lexida with like the other Halloween spheres, you'll probably get SBBs, if not like all of your team gets Brave Bursts. So really helps on that end.
Okay. And finally, a week ago, the November updates were released, and in that release, there were a lot of new quests, along with new spheres that we can craft. There is also a new unit called Zurg. So, what is your ranking of Zurg, and how useful is this unit, Nova?
Okay, so let me preface this by saying that don't like rush to get Zurg, and even though he is the last boss, it's kind of like RNG based. So if you want to spend the gems to try and get him, you can. But I think just constant farming with all of this energy that we get will probably let you get a Zurg eventually. But the unit itself is actually pretty interesting. I think the leader skill is the most attack-oriented leader skill I've seen out of any unit, in a sense that even though Maxwell does generate a lot of damage, you need to have like the correct components, whereas if you have a Zurg, your entire team will basically be able to hit like a truck because most of the time your team will have 100% or if not close to 100% HP at the start of your turn. So his leader skill is basically, I believe, 100% extra attack damage. And this applies to Arena as well. So if you just think about it, the highest sphere percent that we can make is the Mono Hobakin and Angelic Foil, which is 75%, and that only lasts for 2 turns. when you stack that on top of 100% leader skill, on turn 1 you'll be able to dish out 175% damage from each of your units in arena, and I think that's kind of nuts. So just based on that fact alone, like it didn't really matter what Zurg was, that would net him 4 stars from me. But looking at his stats, his stats are on the low end, but because he's a farmable unit, that's okay. His Brave Burst is actually kind of interesting because he does give weakness and injury, and that's 60% at BB10. So he's really made for arena because what injury does is it really like cuts down the damage that your opponent can deal to you. And you really want that because your team is based off of HP, so you want to have more, you can dish out more damage. And I think because of that synergy, I gotta give him 5 stars. He works with any team comp, and I think his best type is Guardian because you need that extra defense because you do get a lot of attack out of it, I think. And his recovery is like really low. Like Anima recovery gets you down to like 940, which is less than 4 digits. And that's a little bit too low, even for somebody who likes Anima, I think.
Mm-hmm. So 5 in Guardian.
Yes.
Okay. Lance, are you still here?
I am still here. Yeah,
okay.
I'm still here.
So I guess my question to you is, without using like Maxwell, how hard is it actually to defeat Zurg?
Well, if you don't use Zurg, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna be like when you find a zebra, and you don't have zebra to one shot him. Mm-hmm. It's gonna take a few turns. I haven't done the map yet, but from what I've seen, if you don't have a crit team, it's gonna take you a few turns. It won't be that long, but it'll take you a few turns. The reason why I haven't done the map yet is Gumi just keep throwing so many units at us, every single week, so many units, and so I spend all my free energy just farming like evolution items for these units, So yeah. I've been really busy doing that, and now we have new items to make, and I'm spending all my time making dragon swords, to see what it actually does. And so been really busy. So
don't forget the connection errors.
yeah, connection error rates up. Yeah, but I don't think this connection error is gonna go on much longer. I think Gumi's putting all the resources into it, so you guys don't have to worry about it because the thing is, they have increased rates up for summoning, and the longer we have these connection issues, the less money they're gonna make. So I'm pretty sure Gumi wants to make money. So
that's a good way.
So I'm pretty sure they're putting all the resources into fixing these connection errors so they can make more money for the increased summon rates. So yeah, don't worry. But what I think about Zurg, I definitely think he's a great unit. But the thing is, I wouldn't use him for questing. For me, if I had a Zurg and I were to use him, he'll be strictly in the arena. Like he wouldn't go to questing because questing, double Maxwell is still really, really, really good right now until we see bosses or regular units that are immune to crit, then you wouldn't bring them anymore. But right now, all these units and all the bosses on the quest maps are still really susceptible to crits and elements of weakness. So Maxwell is still really strong. Since I'm not going to be taking my Zurg out of the arena, Anima is fine for him. Like he doesn't have to recover. And the thing is, when you go with Zurg, you want to go with units that hits really hard. The base attack's really hard. So, for example, what I would do is I'll have a Zurg, and then I'll have units that can hit really hard first turn. So you want to kill as many units as you can first turn, like 2-3 units, and then you'll be good, and then you'll be set to win the match in arena. So yeah, my favorite type would be Anima, and I would rate him 4 stars. I don't think he deserves the 3 stars. I definitely think that he definitely has his uses, but the thing is, I understand that he's free, but the thing is, his stats is really low. So until he gets a 6-star form, I think I'm gonna give him 4-star. So 4-star Anima.
Now you mentioned that you kind of wanted a lot of attack, and you put him in arena. Why wouldn't you give him like a breaker typing?
That's a really good question. From my experience in arena, it seems like when you're fighting opponents in the arena, it seems like the lower stats your units have, the more they tend to get focused. So, for example, you will attack them, but the thing is, the next turn they might still have like 2-3 units left, and those units end up focusing your weakest unit. So, from what I've seen, in my experience, like for example, I can have 3 identical units, but the thing is, they'll be different types, and they usually end up focusing the unit that has the weaker sphere or the lower HP or lower defense. So, if you give them a lot of HP, then it seems like they'll probably not pick on him as much. So yeah.
Interesting. We have a question from CUNY Fanny. Does Zurg stack with Amanabakan?
I think, didn't Nova just answer that?
Yes.
No.
I said the way okay, so if you guys remember a unit called Kaja, his leader skill activated when your HP falls below I think it was 30%. Whereas this guy, Zurg, his leader skill activates all the time, but it's inversely proportional to how much HP like you lose. So if you have 1% HP, you'll get 1% attack bonus. But if you have 100% HP, you'll get 100% attack bonus. And this is not turn-based, so every sphere will stack with his leader skill, which is why it makes him, I think, probably the best arena leader right now, because a lot of teams got that 50%, that 65%, and when you throw in extra 35% on top of the highest like attack damage you can get consistently, because sure, you can throw in like Lucina, which is 50%. That's 2 turns, and it doesn't stack with any of the turn-based spheres. Whereas Zurg, you can put a Mono Habaken on it, and you can put like a Wicked Blade on him too, so you'll get that double attack basically.
Lance, what do the viewers think?
The viewers think that he deserves a 3 stars with 30 votes.
Why do you guys think the viewers picked a 3 for Zurg?
I just think that most people haven't been on the map yet. They haven't got him yet. So that's the reason why they're giving him 3. But I'm pretty sure when people actually get to the map and get him and see what he can do, I think people would probably give him a 4 or 5. But the thing is, a lot of people haven't got him. Just kind of like, for example, when Zebra first came out. And yeah, and people are, oh, his stats are so low, and people haven't got him yet. Yeah, so.
All right, guys, get into Rishka and go all the way up. Get the last unit in the last map. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the Reed set of units. Now, like me, you guys were probably going through the dungeons and are like, oh my gosh, new Vortex dungeon. I'm going to capture the unit regardless of if it's good or not. That was my mentality going in. And so Reed, looking at his skills, he looks like a Gra because it gives like something like 25% to all elements, the leader skill. So what is his potential? Like that stat is actually better than Gra's. What is his potential, Nova?
Well, for Reed, you need a very, very precise team to run that leader skill. You need to have all 6 elements in your team at the same time. So that means you can't bring a second Reed friend. So it's just pure 25% with just 1 leader skill. And the other leader skill you can get that would stack with that would be Graz. Get that 20%, and that would fill up that dark element. But the rest of the units, you really aren't too flexible with it. So you'd have to get 1 water, 1 earth, 1 thunder, and 1 light unit. And the thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way is that you need 6 elements, not 5. A lot of people are used to seeing 5 elements, which means you can run that in arena. And especially if you're going in through quests, if you have 5 elements in your team, if you bring a friend, that friend has to be the 6th element. You can't just choose like anybody else with another 5 element leader skill. So for Reed, I'd say he's not that great, because even though you do get the 25%, which is a Legwand gem, you do have to really construct your team around him. and it's precise to the point where I think it kind of defeats the purpose of having a leader skill. So for me, Reed, just because of his low stats, 5-star max right now, with the amount of 6 stars we have, isn't gonna do too much. So his even his BB is kind of underwhelming. So I'm gonna give him a 2 stars. And
wow,
this is based on the fact that there are other units in the game that are a lot more flexible, have a lot better stats, and just in general, if you got a Reed, you would never use it right now because almost every unit in the game has a 6-star, and other 5-star units are better than him anyway. So the only reason you'd use him is to see his leader skill, and that's about it, I think. So gotta give him Guardian typing though, because I got this guy Guardian.
Now, do you think moving forward, the 6-star form would be something that you would give a 4 or 5 to?
Since it's not out yet, I can't really say. But if they do improve his leader skill more and his super brave burst, because I can see the potential of this unit at 6-star form, but right now, based off what I see, it's just not I wouldn't bring a Reed because I really don't want to use him as a leader. So if I'm just using him as a normal unit, he's kind of too ordinary for that, in my opinion. He doesn't even do damage anyway. So
and
for me,
yeah. Cuny Fanny from chat does make a good point that compared to Gra, he doesn't give damage reduction for elements.
Yes.
Lance, what's your opinion on Reed?
Hey guys, sorry about that.
Hey. Welcome back.
My mic is really, really sensitive. It picks up all the little detail. So, yeah. But Reed, I agree with Nova. The thing is, he's really hard to use. Too hard to use that it's not worth the extra 5% to all stats from Gra. The reason why people love Gra is because Gra goes with any team. Any team you can put Gra in, and any team is fine with Gra. But the thing is, this unit it becomes really, really hard to use because you need one of each element, and that's really hard to do. And this is why he's not usable right now. You gotta put one of each element just to get 5% more stats from Gra. So in Gra he provides the light and darkness buff too, and he also provides the damage reduction to light and darkness, which is a lot more than what Reed can do. So he asked the question, let's see if Reed if he gets a 6-star, would he be viable? And yeah, and the thing is, if they just bump his all stats boost to maybe 30 or 35%, I don't think it's worth it, to do that, because you need 6 elements, and it's gonna have to be something really crazy, maybe 40% to all stats, or 50% all stats, something so crazy that you wouldn't mind building a team around him. So that's my answer to your question. So. And he's just too hard to use right now. I like that he has a fire AoE attacks. I like that he has BB fill. But the thing is, he doesn't currently have a 6-star form yet. It's just a 5-star form. So it's just really hard to use. So I would agree with Nova that I wouldn't be able to use this unit, or I wouldn't want to use him anyway. So I would give him a 2-star too. And I capture Anima. So yeah, Anima type, 2 stars in Anima.
Whatever you capture is the one you're going to give. But now Anima's pretty good. So what I saw from the viewers picked 4 stars, and then the analysis came in, and then there were a lot of 3 stars that caught up. So how are the votes turning out right now?
It's 3 stars now, with 1 vote in the lead. But yeah, maybe he deserves a 3-star, maybe, but the thing is definitely not a 4-star though. Okay. So the viewers maybe the viewers got it right. So
nice. Okay. The next unit is the water unit, Rain. So what I see from Rain is, based off his leader skill, it gives 75% attack for 2 turns. So I'm thinking, well, Arena, right? So Arena's good. But then we have Zurg as well. And then I feel like he's just a better version of Lucina. Like, how good is he, Lance?
The thing about this unit is usually units that have this many attack for this many turn. It doesn't stack with things like angelic foils, which it doesn't stack. I mean, it doesn't stack with units like him too. So having two Rhine wouldn't get like 150%, you know. So this is what I don't like it. So units items that have like 75% for 2 turns, you know, it wouldn't stack with his skill. So when I first looked at him, I thought he had a lot of potential, but then I quickly realized that wait, you know, this guy, he won't stack with himself or other units that have the same, you know, 75% attack to 2 turns, you know. So basically, when that happens, they're like, okay, so I can't really use him now. Yeah. So I guess, I mean, he's still definitely usable. He has a water AoE attack. He has ignore defense, you know. So if you're free to play and you need a good water unit, like you can definitely put in your team as a filler. But the thing is, he's just not a unit that you would go to if you needed a strong and good unit because it doesn't stack, you know. So yeah, 2-star and Anima.
Okay. Nova, your opinion on Rain?
I actually have a complete opposite opinion on Rain for this matter, actually, because the way I see it is that would have been a lot more problematic when we didn't have a lot of these new spheres that Gumi gave out. So what I'm thinking is I see a Rain. Okay, it's a 5-star version. The leader skill is actually pretty good. 75% attack to all for 2 turns. Ideally, you would not use it in quest, but if you had to use it, you wouldn't bring 2. And I think that's okay because 75% attack is a lot, and usually you should be able to kill things in 2 turns anyway. But the thing that strikes me the most is his is the way that he kind of worked in Arena. Because as you guys know, I'm top 30 in Arena, or if you didn't know, well, there you go. And I've actually seen a lot of people using Rain as their leader, and I was really curious why, because there were a lot of other leaders going on, 50% attack with BB fill, and I really made me curious to look at this unit in depth. And the thing is, we still have these things called Aegis Cloaks, right? So Aegis Cloaks exist, and that bumps up your defense to 330%. And what this does is, I think it does stack with his leader skill because it doesn't affect attack. So you get that 330% defense and 75% attack. And other spheres that worked with Rain that I saw people using were the double hit count spheres from Halloween and Lexita. So if you guys didn't know, a leader skill that buffs up attack actually increases the amount of double hits that you do with those spheres. So you'd get a lot of battle crystals, and you get a lot of units killed, or your units would live because they had Aegis Cloak. And the thing that kind of struck me the most was his actual BB. It's a really good arena BB for a lot of people who have trouble killing units with Aegis Cloak. It's the ignore defense for 2 turns. That does apply. So when that goes off, you kind of don't need to worry about, will the other team live? Because I think the ignoring defense is only really viable in Arena. So for that, and all of the above mentioned, I think Rain, for me, gets a 4-star, and his best typing is defense. So Guardian.
Oh, wow. So I guess I may consider Rain in Arena based off.
Yeah. Like what I do is I don't have any trouble with Aegis Cloak. Aegis Cloak when I attack is like butter to me. So basically I have a monolite team right now that has a no resistance to it. So I'm going with, my team is monolite with 3 hovers, and they have a mono Habakins with a leader. So they basically won everything, even if they're using Guardian Cloak. So I haven't lost yet for over a week. So.
Okay. And what do the viewers think?
3 stars. Right in the middle.
So you know what? You guys are both right because we all average out to a 3.
A.
Okay. The next unit up is Anil. Anil, what he does is he gives a multi-elemental attack, which reminds me of a Melkio. But from what I can see, he's, like far inferior to Melkio. For one, he doesn't give the water element. What do you guys think of Anil in his 5-star form, Lance?
I'm changing the vote right now, so...
Okay.
Okay, it should be up right now. Okay. Anil.
Oh, by the way, their stats aren't that good either.
Yeah, the stats are not that good. That's one of the main reason why I can't give them high stats too. It's because they only have a 5-star form. Like maybe when they get to 6-star form and their stats get closer to around 7,000, then you would I would take a really good look at these units and say, I need these units. But right now, I don't think I would use them as, in place of 6-star units that we have currently. But Anil, I really like that Anil has fire, water, earth, and thunder to his AoE attack. But the thing is, he's missing light and dark to it. So if he were able to have all the elements added to his attack, that'd be kind of nice, like a Milkio. But since he doesn't, or if this isn't like a buff, then it's really limited. I really wish that this was like a fire, water, earth, and thunder buff, to the entire team, and then he would attack. But the thing is, it's just for his AoE attack. So it's kind of like if you don't have a Milkio or if you don't have a Rainbow team, then this guy would be nice. I can see him getting a 6-star form and then having this attack, with a really strong super Ray Burst, and he can definitely take the place of a Milkio, just based on doing elemental damage and Frontier Hunter. But right now, his low stats and this attack, while it's nice, I don't see that it's game changing. Like you wouldn't say, oh, I'm gonna take out my Michelle, or I'm gonna take out my this unit, I'm using to put him in because he's gonna do such a better job. When I look at him, I'm like, oh man, like this unit, if only he had his 6-star form, if only Sheeta didn't do what he did and better, because 6-star Sheeta, he just doesn't do elemental damage to enemies. He gives it to your team, with his super ray burst. So,
are you saying that we need Sheeta?
We need Sheeta.
Oh,
yeah, we need
goodness.
Sheeta. Yeah, we need Sheeta. So
I don't think we need Sheeta.
well,
oh, look at that pessimist.
Like Sheeta in Frontier Hunter. I'm just looking at him and looking for 200 points. I'm just like, oh man, the number's gonna fly so high for elemental damage, So that's why I like Sheeta right now. But we'll have to see, wait and see how he does in Frontier Hunter. But yeah, this is this unit. He's good right now, but he's just not there yet. So hopefully with the 6-star form, Anil, he'll be there. So for now, he's definitely usable right now as a feeler. So 3 stars, and I'll give him Anima type. Lots and lots of recovery, so Anima type.
Well, I can see the battle between Anima and Guardian shaping up to be quite epic.
That's why I usually have
the better word, like repetitive.
That's why you usually have 3 people like Pika, but Pika ran away at the last minute. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he would have voted Anima as well, and then Nova would have been surrounded once again. We should have viewers vote for the typings. All right, Nova, what do you think?
Okay, so Anil, I looked at him art-wise. I was just like, I don't want this unit, but I was farming for him anyway, so I was like, okay, might as well. And then I took a look at his leader skill and his Brave Burst, and I was like, okay, these are really interesting, but like I wouldn't use this. The multiplier on his attack is too low for me to even consider it at 190% at PP10. Then again, it is 5-star, so can't really do too much about that. His leader skill actually reminded me of like a mini kind of, I guess, Lily with the battle crystal fill and like kind of small recovery for the healing percentage, but it's not 100%. It's only 40%, so that kind of makes him fall off quite a bit, because if you don't get 100% on hit effects. It's kind of like playing Russian roulette. You never know where you'll end up, and that's never a good thing. So until they kind of fix that, I probably really wouldn't bring him to do anything. Like like structure wise, like the idea for the unit is good. You want to have something that fills battle crystals, something that covers, and something that like hits, like for 4 elements. I think that's like pretty crazy. But they're just not enough stats and not enough really damage to back it up. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to give him a 2 and Guardian typing.
Okay. And the viewers, what do they think?
All right. So 21 people thinks he deserved 2 stars, and then 16 people thinks he deserved 3 stars. So 2 stars.
Okay. Next unit up is the Thunder unit Lucana. Now 5-star Lucana, I believe, heals and gives an attack, defense, recovery buff. So Nova, do you think this unit would be the future for like a Leorone?
The future possibly, because I think a lot of people would rather have attack, defense, and recovery buffer, maybe on something like a healer instead of an attacker, because you really want that dedicated attack to be like really high hit counts nowadays. But for a lot of people, just getting a unit that heals is kind of just difficult in general with the amount of units we have. So I guess on that end, we kind of, as a farmable healer with kind of decent stats, stat buffs, 30% attack, defense, and recovery isn't much. But if you don't have like anything that you're using in your team anyway, it's better to have than nothing. And she heals too, and I think that's her main selling point, was that she was a farmable healer. And just for that, I think I'm going to have to give her 3 stars because of the difficulty it is just to get healers. Her leader skill is, I guess it's okay, but it's not something that you would use. So just bring her in as a healer, getting extra stats if you don't have anything that gives stats on your team. Because a lot of units like can do 1 or 2 stats, but if you do get that extra, it's just kind of bonus on top of that. So 3 stars and Guardian from me.
Lance, am I still here?
Yeah, we're waiting for you. I think. Yeah.
Lance?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What do you think?
Okay, I was just waiting for you. It's like you were doing something, so I was just waiting for you. Yeah. Well, this unit, Lucana, I definitely think she's a great unit. But the thing is, only if you're just starting. I think the thing that a lot of new players have issues with is unit costs. So you can't just start the game, be level 20, and then expect to have a team full of 6 stars. You're gonna have some 5-star units in there with low costs. So I think this is a great unit to have in your team when you're starting out, because she gives you everything you need: heal, attack, defense, and recovery. And I think you would use her in the beginning all the way until maybe you get near the middle of the game, and then when you get to a higher level and you have more unit costs, then you would trade in for a better healer, like a LML or L3 or Okina 6-star, which just got released, and really excited for her. But this unit is farmable, like Nomo said. So because of that, I definitely think that she deserves some credit, because a healer that has Leorone type of buffing for free, that's a lot. But unfortunately, her buff is not that strong. It's for attack, defense, and recovery. And 30% just doesn't do a lot, when compared to Leorone, who does it at around 70%. That's like very little. So I'm hoping that they give her like a better heal and stronger buffs for her 6-star. And if she gets like a stronger heal and better buffs, then like Leorone is definitely like outclassed. Like you can just bring this unit and then she can do what Leon does. And it's a chick, so of course people are gonna like her. Yeah. So, but yeah, like pretty decent recovery. 1633 anima. So yeah, going with anima. I caught 2 anima, so I'm still. What I'm doing right now is I'm just fusing crystals and gods into them and see which one has higher HP. Because the thing is, not all the animats has exactly the same HP. So I think there's like a plus and minus 197. So I'm hoping for to get as high HP as possible. So yeah, anima and 3 stars.
And what did the viewers pick?
27 people think she deserved a 4-star. So people really love this unit.
Sounds
and
good.
Yeah, 6 is the second highest vote for 5-star. So
okay. Next unit up is the 5-star form Nivski. Nivski is actually one of the few units in this batch that has quite a bit of defense, and you can see the amount of defense like from his armor and whatnot. So based off his skills, his looks, is he the new Olu, Nova?
No.
Okay.
So, sadly, you look at this guy, you're thinking, oh my god, we finally get a unit that's farmable that can do damage reduction, finally. But once again, Gumi kind of trolled us in a sense that, sure, this guy is like super defense heavy, which he is, and I like that about him, but kind of just lacked in the one area that you need the most, which is damage reduction. So going into his leader skill, it's kind of like the ultimate kind of defense from like status elements and crit. Basically, you don't take any crits, so no surprises there, and you don't get any status elements. So right off the bat, if you're going for, I think that going forward, like something like nullification of crit might be interesting to use, but right now we don't really have a use for that. So just the nullification of elements, I think, is okay. Looking at his Brave Burst skill, that's kind of where people saw the light, just seeing damage reduction and defense up for 3 turns. But the thing is, even though his defense buff, I think, is okay, with it being 70% at BB10 for him, the reduction of damage just kind of falls way too short. Even though it lasts 3 turns, it's only 10%. Doesn't really make it, unusable. But I just don't think that 10% on the long run will do anything. But I really like the concept behind Nivski. So for me, it's going to be 3 stars, and I guess Guardian typing, because he's Guardian based. So gotta give him his own typing on that.
Okay. All right, Lance, what do you think?
Oh, okay. So out of all these new units, I think Nivski, he's probably my favorite out of this entire set of units. And the reason why is I see a lot of potential in him. Like when I first look at him, I see his leader skill, and it's just like a Dharma shell, nullifies elements. And this is like the very first time I've seen a nullifies crit, a few times we've been in the Frontier Hunter or a boss, and when the boss crits you, because suddenly one of your units dies, and you're like, oh, okay, oh, that was a lucky crit from the boss, So this unit brings in crit resistance to your C. The only thing I don't like about him is that his damage reduction is too low, is at 10%. But again, it lasts for 3 turns. I don't think 10% damage reduction is gonna make that much of a difference. I liked it that his buff is nice and high at 70%. But the thing is, 10% damage reduction, if Maxwell's gonna hit you like 15,000 and you only reduce 10% of that, you're still gonna die. So you need something like around 50% to be able to survive these hard-hitting attacks. But the thing is, you look at this unit and then you hear that this set is gonna get a 6-star, and then I just have like really high hopes for him. That this guy, like, what if he's able to replace your Dharma Shell, or what if he's able to completely replace, Olu? Because the thing is, that's definitely possible. What if when he gets 6-star form, instead of the 10% damage reduction, what if it's like 40% for 3 turns, or like 30% for 3 turns? Then that becomes something more substantial, along with like an increased defense buff. What if it's like 100% defense increase for, and then 40% damage reduction for 3 turns? Then this guy, he'll be like game changing, and we would leave like all these other unit and go to this unit. So crossing my fingers that he's gonna get a really nice 6-star form to do him justice, because this guy, he looks amazing, and yeah, fingers crossed that he's gonna get a really nice super brave burst. So so for this unit, 3-star, and we're definitely gonna agree on a type this time. We're gonna go with defense and the guardian type, because this unit, he has no attack. So since he's not gonna be attacking, and he's gonna be just putting defense on you and reducing damage and not actually attacking, he doesn't need a high attack. So let's go with guardian, and yeah. So 3 stars in guardian.
Nova, how do you feel now that Lance has finally succumbed to your favorite typing?
I guess it feels good to get somebody to vote for guardian.
Just good.
Anima,
makes you
or
want
anything else. Yeah. It's like that time when I voted for Anima once on a unit, but like, it's really up to you on what type you want. I just think like the unit itself matters way more. Typing's kind of like if you could choose, I get this.
Yeah, I like my my buffing units and my healers to be guardian, so they have like a little bit more recovery and a little bit more defense, because they're not even attacking. So if they're not attacking, why do you want a little bit higher attack for? So
guardian has won, Kappa. So what do viewers think?
So the viewers think that he deserves the 3 stars with 19 votes. So
okay, final unit of this batch, Uru, a dark unit. How useful is Uru, Lance?
I'm changing the poll right now. Okay. So why don't you go first, Nova? I'll be right with you.
Okay, so for me, Eru is kind of the same deal as Reed. Gotta get a very specific team comp to run with it. It is a persistent 75% attack boost, but just being able to form a team, around an Eru means that you do have to put one of each element, and you can't use this in arena, obviously. So that means you can get to insanely high attack values. If you think about like an angelic foil or a mono Hobaken, you will get to that 150% attack on all your units. But the thing is, just getting 150% attack on all your units requires this very precise setup, which I think doesn't lend itself to much flexibility. And because of that, I think I'd have to give him the same rating I did as Reed. Like, the attack is nice and all, but I think it's kind of worse because when you're building a team that's centered around attack, you really have to have like overpowering attack to be able to like kill everything. And I don't think 75% is good enough right now, just with 6 elements, to be able to do that. If you could stack Iru, I guess, that'd be great. But it doesn't work like that, because I believe Zurg does stack. If you bring 2 Zurgs, you will get, well, I'm not 100% sure since I don't have a Zurg yet, but I was told that somebody hits like 200% and then you can throw a spear on top of that. So, like, in terms of attack damage output, there's definitely other options. I just don't think he's worth it. So 2 stars from Guardian.
Okay. And Lance? Okay.
I think same thing about 6 elements. 6 elements, it's really hard to bring. Like Gumi to get me to, to buy into the 6 elements for a single team. Well, if you have 6 elements, it totally eliminates it from the arena. So you spend like all this money and all these like crystals to level him up, and then you can't even use him for like the arena part of the game, and only he has to stay in the questing part. So that's a really big drawback for me. And Gumi needs to do something crazy to get me to buy into the concept of using 6 elements. Like for example, leader skill gives you something like 120% attack or something. Something crazy that will actually make me want to spend the effort and build a team just around this unit. Like what we did with Zebra. Zebra, yeah, he had low stats, but the thing is, Zebra, his crit when he was unnerved was insane. It was like over 600 something percent. It was insane. So we went. Okay, I'll build a team around Zebra. I'll bring SGX. I'll bring Michelle. You just basically built a team around your Zebra. But the thing is, this unit, he doesn't. The 75% attack doesn't deserve a team to be built around him. When there's other units like a Zurg, or even units like 6-star. Oh God, I can't believe I forgot her name. 6-star Lunaris. There you go. That's how much people use her. Yeah. But like 6-star Lunaris, like she's you just have to use a Monodark team and you're fine, and you just lose 10% attack, which isn't that much. So this unit, they just make it so hard to use them. Like I mean, I love this unit, dual sword. I'm like a really big fan of dual swords. But the thing is, why did you have to make it so hard to like use?
Yeah.
So yeah. Like I would probably never be able to use them because the thing is, 6 elements. Like you can control your team, right? But the thing is, you can't control to see who your friends are using. So if you build a team and then go do a quest or something, and then your friends they don't have that other last element you need, you can't use them. You have to go back to your team and rebuild again. And I think that's way too much work to have this unit just for a 75% attack leader skill. So yeah, so I'm gonna agree with Nova, and he deserves 2 stars, and I'm a type.
Okay. And finally, for this batch of units, viewers' votes.
3 stars, 22 votes.
Okay, and this rounds up this batch of units called Leaders of the People. Whether they're Leaders of the People or not, that is to be seen, actually.
Yeah.
Now we transition to the next set of units. This set of units is called Godly Descendants. We have the 5-star versions, and these units, in my opinion, look pretty impressive. We're going to start today with Fiora, the fire unit. Now, just to give a brief introduction to these units do give different elemental buffs, and I believe all of these units do. So I'm really curious as to how Lance and Nova would vote on this unit. So Nova, first question's for you. Fiora does give a fire and thunder element to attack. How useful is that?
For me, when I think about it this way, I think that the dual element buffs by themselves are outright like kind of nuts, because the thing is, not only are you giving your own element, but you're giving the element opposite to what the unit is weak against. So in a sense, that unit will never hit for like any 1/2 damage. It'll always be neutral or ×2. So on that end, I think dual elemental units are good. This kind of reminds me of a fusing of Michelle and Bran. And what's even more insane is that they also have an attack on top of that. And for Fiora right now, I really don't want to damper her down too much because she is just a 5-star. So on that sense, just looking at her purely at her 5-star form, this is what I see. I see the status ailment leader skill, which can be useful in certain situations that are coming up, like raid, which we were supposed to get but never got. Yeah. So going forward, just the fire and thunder element by themselves are pretty useful for any team, because you won't have to force yourself to bring like 2 units just to deal 2 different kinds of elements. You can bring one, and with the attack on top of that as well, 220% is okay for a 5-star. But the future of this unit is really, really bright because I'm pretty sure Lance will touch on it more, and I'm probably just going to leave that to him. Is that these units kind of go crazy at their 6-star forms. And like for me, dual elements and an attack was like enough to make a good unit. And when they get their 6-star forms, I think everybody will want a Fiora. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But at her current state for dual elements and an attack, still being a 5-star though, I'm going to have to give it a 3. And my favorite typing is Guardian.
Lance, go ahead.
The thing is, you know, the Michelle set, you know, we love those sets so much. Michelle, everybody used her for Frontier Hunter. People are still using her. But these units that can apply buffs like SGX, Milkiel, we love these units like so much. And then we get these new units that can actually apply 2 buffs instead of 1. So, you know, of course, these units are going to be better than the Michelle set, which we're using right now and we love. But the only thing is, like these units, this is a new concept, you know, give you a buff that you have and give you a buff that's good against enemy who are strong against you. This is a really good concept, you know. It's like they're bringing in like the Michelle concept and fusing that to the other concept. I forgot which set that was, but the like Lucina batch, you know, they're mixing these 2 skills, and we're getting this new set, which is really good, which is the best of both of them. But the thing is, these units they're built so well together. Like for example, you can't just use if you use one, you don't want to like have more than one of these units in the same team, because the thing is they complement each other so well. So for example, Fiora can give you the Fire and Thunder, and then you might have other units that can actually give you when you get their 6-star, give you like a defense buff. You know, you have other units to give you different light buff. So it seems like Gumi wants us to use like all the as many as possible of these new units in a team as possible. So that's what really I guess really I guess makes me dislike this set, is because Gumi wants you to use like a lot of these units and together to form like a strong team. But the thing is, the kind of units that I like is the unit that can fit in well with any team. So for example, you know, I have your Maxwell, your Graw, units that you can put in a team, your Zell Knight, you know, put in a team and they're able to work well within that team. But these units are designed so that they work well together, you know, like something, they'll give you an attack buff, and then they'll give you a defense buff, and they'll give you, you know, like the defense and mitigation buff, you know. So there's like, you want to put a lot of these units in the same team. So I'm like, Gumi, do you want me to buy all these units and form a team? Because that's going to cost a lot of gems, you know. I just want a unit that I can use and put in with my other team that I have right now. So that's the only thing that I don't like about this set. But these units, I really like that they give you 2 buffs, one that they have and one that's good against enemies. And I like that when she gets her 6-star, she's going to be really, really strong. So because of this, I'm going to give it 3-star right now. And Anima.
What do you guys think of, since you guys, you know, the 2 element buffs are very useful, what do you guys think of like using all these units in Frontier Hunter? Like if you have one of each, shouldn't you just like fly past Frontier Hunter and destroy everything?
Well, the thing about these units is, while they do give you the buff, they don't hit really hard, or you don't get the crazy 30 or 20 hits. So that's what you're trading off on. Like, yeah, sure, you get like elements of each kind, but the thing is, you don't have the, you know, the 30 hits of Elza. You don't have the 33 hits of Maxwell. You know, you don't have those crazy hit counts. So that's what makes it so hard, you know, to because the thing is, you want these units, but the thing is, that means I can't bring these units that I like, you know, because so that's why I'm gonna definitely get these, and I'm definitely gonna get 6-star Sheeta and because the thing is, Sheeta, he works well with any team, so that's why I like Sheeta right now, because he can work with my Maxwells.
Okay.
So I'm definitely gonna try these units and try to Sheeta with my Maxwell and see how they work out, and yeah.
So I guess looking forward, when the units get 6 stars, they get more hits, and then maybe a little more feasible for Frontier Hunter then.
Yeah. I think they cap out at 21 hit, right? The highest from the set, Nova? Is that? From the
I
light unit?
think so for Super Brave Burst.
Yeah, Super Bravers, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do the viewers think?
So the viewers think she deserves a 5-star, 20 votes. Yeah, love her. Yeah, I remember when she first came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, like that guy, he looks so cool in cloak. He looks so cool in the cloak, you know." And then bam, take off the cloak at a 6-star.
It's a girl. Yeah.
And it's a girl,
like,
and the people are like, "Oh my god, Gloomy, he looks so cool." And then now you gotta put him in bikini, you know? It's like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, it's like
6
it's a girl now.
stars.
Yeah, they're like,
5 stars. 6
she's
stars.
just like all the other units now, you know, with the bikinis and.
Well,
you could, yeah.
What people want, what people get. Next unit is Eve. 5-star Eve. So, I'm thinking you guys are comparing the units in this batch. Like they have like similar BB skills, right? So we're comparing their leader skills. Eve has a leader skill which gives a chance of heal when attacked. Lance, in your opinion, do you think this leader skill is useful?
Chance of heal when you attack. Pirate. Are you talking about
that's
sea
a
pirate?
6-star, which we're not supposed to talk about.
Yeah, it's a 6-star.
Traillocs.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, jump the gun on 6-star.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, we're not going to discuss the leader skill because I don't think it's very helpful. So, what do you think of Eve?
Okay, so we're talking about 5-star.
5-star form, yeah.
Okay, 5-star Eve. Well, the thing is, like this unit, I think Nova might like her because she has a defense buff at 6-star form. But right now, it seems like it's really generic. You know, like she's like really plain right now. She has water AoE and she adds water to attack for 3 turns, right? But the thing is, that's all. It's just like, I don't know. To me, she's like vanilla ice cream, like really plain, like nothing special. I guess I want some sprinkles on it, you know, and have like maybe weakness or injury or something along like paralyzed along with the AoE attack. So right now, she's really plain right now. But the thing is, you can still definitely use her. For example, you bring her to fight Vargas, you know. So you don't like Tiara, fine. Bring Eve to fight Vargas, Legendary Vortex, you know. So she's definitely really usable right now. I know a lot of people who's been playing this game for months and they haven't challenged Vargas yet. So if you're still at that point and you don't have Tiara or you hate Tiara, go ahead, get your Pirate Princess Eve. You know, give her the water attack buff to your team, and yeah. So yeah, and oh god, like if we didn't know her 6-star form, then I would be more forgiving. But the thing is, we know her 6-star form, and it just gives you a defense buff. But the thing is, the way I see these units, they're like really attack oriented because of all these elemental like weakness that they give you. So I definitely think that you still need defense. But the thing is, I kind of want more and more attack, you know, because you're getting all these elemental buffs to make your team hit harder, and then here's a defense buff. So when her 6-star comes out, I probably can't get her a 5-star, maybe like a 4-star. But right now, Eve is usable, and I'll give Eve a 3-star. And my favorite typing would be Anima.
Okay. All right, I got a question for you, Nova. Without looking at the unit art, okay, is Eve blowing a whistle or holding an axe?
That's a good question. Like without looking at it, just from my memory. I just remember she's holding something.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what it was exactly, but I do believe it was an axe, because holding a whistle, if you're a unit, doesn't really like do any damage. So bringing an axe to a fight is definitely better than a whistle.
Yep, it's the axe. You got it
You're
right.
correct.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
logically, it's like, who would bring a whistle?
Okay.
You're not calling for Ziz.
The reason I
That's
ask
her
is when I first saw
pet.
this unit, I felt like I was looking at it, I was like, is that a whistle? Like, but okay, go ahead and rank the unit.
Okay, so I guess after I'm done speaking about her 5-star form, I have to talk a little bit about what Len said about her. So, at 5 stars, Eve, 30% HP to all. I think for all you animal lovers out there, this is definitely something that's usable, because you just want to see more HP. So you just throw that leader on, see how high the numbers go, and everybody's happy. Her BB skill, it's kind of just like the kind of generic brave burst of the set. Like you do the element that you are, and then the element you're weak against. So that's water, earth for this unit. But for me, I think Eve kind of has more potential in my team building compositions than a lot of other units do. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But looking at her stats, like overall, I think she's one of the units in this set where her typing doesn't matter as much, because it's so like well-rounded. I think that you wouldn't be too upset even if you got like an Oracle, because her stats are kind of just same throughout, and she kind of has a little bit more HP than average. So. For me, probably gonna go give her 3 stars, because I think just having 2 elements by itself, and then you throw in an attack on top of that, warrants a 3-star minimum. And then typing wise, Guardian.
Okay.
And then going on from what Lance said about this form, 6-star Eve, is the way I see it is that I've been looking for a water unit that could hit more than 20 times for the longest time, because I've been searching through all of my units. I see high hit count dark units, high hit count light units, high hit count thunder units, even high hit count earth units with Douglas, and high hit count fire units. And the best I saw for AoE high hit count was like Saren and Raiden. Raiden's buffs are good on his own, but I really don't like bringing Raiden to one of the higher hit count sparking teams. And Eve kind of fulfills that when she does get her 6-star form for me. And I think just the fact that she's going to be the highest Super Brave Burst hit count water unit by herself lends it a lot of credibility for usability. So not to mention the fact that she does give a defense buff, because the way I see it is, if you do so much elemental damage, and it's okay to have attack buffs, but I think the one weakness that I really see in having just high high hit count sparking teams is that if you don't kill the enemy, they're gonna hit back at you. And a lot of high hit count spark teams don't have any form of defense that's viable in a high hit count spark team. So the way I see it, I think Eve is probably top 3 of this set for me by far. And the other 2, I'm pretty sure you guys know what they are already.
And what was the predominant vote by the viewers?
So people think she deserved 3 stars too.
Okay.
So
the next unit we are ranking is the Earth unit Luca. The first question will be for Lance. Okay, so Luca, having an anima typing, has pretty low recovery. Does that mean you're actually going to vote for Oracle this time?
well, she does have a 6-star form, and then the 6-star form does help with recovery a little bit.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, like the thing is, like this unit, she does have pretty low recovery for a 5-star form. So if I get like a different element, like probably, I don't know, like this unit, all these units, what they do is they just don't provide buffs, but they actually attack too. So since they attack too, it's really hard for me to go Guardian because these units they apply the elemental buff and then they attack, so, which means that they're really like attack oriented, So I want to squeeze as much damage as I can, and if for some reason the recovery is like so low that I worry about him not being able to heal. If I don't get an anima, like I would be happy with a lore type. There we go. Then, but if it's like a healer or like a buffer, then I would go guardian. But if it's like more attack oriented, I would go with a lore type if I can get anima, or maybe at the very least, anima, lord, and breaker. So that's my answer.
Okay. And what's your ranking and your favorite typing?
Okay, so like I said, these units, it seems like Gumi wants to form a team with them. So now we just got Eve with the defense buff, and now we have Luca with the attack buff. And the thing is, if you put like, Eve and Luca and Fiora and all these units into a team, they get really strong because the thing is, they give each other buffs that they don't have, So all your units are going to be hitting with bonus elemental damage. And all the buffs are different. That means that they're gonna stack because each of these buffs is not the same, and they're all different. So, like Gumi, like you want me to spend this much money, to get this team of OP units. That's why I'm so upset. I'm not upset that they're not good. I'm just upset that they're so good together that I might have to spend a lot of money. So,
there we go.
So, yeah. So, this goes for exactly the same for. As I said for Eve, I'm gonna give her 3-star. I can't give her anything too high. I like that she adds 2 buffs, but the thing is, her attack only tops at 100% buff, like kind of like Eve. So I really wish like it would be tied, like 110 or 115%, so that we can go, oh, this unit does the same thing, and then have a little bit something extra. But the thing is, if you're running things like like a double Maxwell crit team, you want as much attack percent buff as possible with your Michelle, to get the most points because it makes a difference between getting 2 million points or not being able to get there. Like sometimes, sometimes it might make the difference. So just because it doesn't go all the way to the top at her 6-star form, 100%. That means that I can't give her that high of the points. I like what she can do, but the thing is, it's just not like crazy good. That I have to go. I want her, so 3 stars, and like you said, her anima type has really low recovery, 1293. But the thing is, like the way I think is with all these new 5-star form, I summon them, but the thing is, I don't even touch them. I just leave them there, and if I have extra crystals, I level them up, but I don't even bring them with me to fight at all. So I wouldn't I would get an anima, and then when she gets her 6-star, then her recovery goes up, and we have a lot of I don't know what you guys, but from people I've seen, they have a lot of imps now, so you can definitely put some recovery imps on her. So yeah, so anima 3 stars.
Okay, and Nova, what's your opinion on Luca?
I think Luca is a guy, number one. So yeah,
Luca's a guy,
is
yeah.
A guy. So for me, in general, I'm probably just gonna cut to the chase on this. Stat distribution, it is a little bit on the lower recovery side, so I don't think I would even want one anima too much because it is a little bit on the low end. The way I see it is that this guy, since I know it's 6-star, he will give you an attack boost anyway, so I just pump him up with more defense because that's how I am. So Guardian typing for me, and I guess Lance pretty much said everything you need to know about him. It's kind of the same generic like 5-star form of this set, which is dual elements. Earth Water, and then you get 6-star form, which will be later. And I do agree that I think this set is probably the best set unison wise. Like if you had all the units in a set, and you had to pick one set out of all of them. Like before, it would probably be like Michelle or Dia's set, but I think this set, with it being both, I think kind of covers all weaknesses in that sense. So 3-star Guardian for Luca.
I'm going to ask you guys later in the cast which set you prefer, actually, either the Okina set or the Fiora set here. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and viewers voted?
3 stars.
3 stars. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the next unit up is Orna. Orna is one of my favorite units. It's pretty cool. She's carrying an Olympic torch or something like that. But how useful is she right now, at least? Nova, what do you think?
So I actually think she's a little bit more viable in terms of her 5-star form than all these other units, because a lot of people like bringing Lily lead because she does get you that BB fill when you're attacked, leader skill, and that of course gives you all the additional Brave Burst gauge refill that you could ever need. So the way I see Orna is that she's kind of different in the sense that her leader skill is get battle crystal fill when you're attacked, and I think that's probably more usable, even 5-star form, than any other unit in this set because of its viability, in a sense that you can bring an Orna and get something that not a lot of other units have. As far as I can recall, I think the only units that I would use in game for the fill when attacked are Paris, Orna, and Lily. And when you can only have like 3 units on that end, I think she's probably really good in that sense. So for me, I'm actually going to stray a little bit from the path and say that Orna in a 5-star form, just because of her uniqueness and her leader skill, would get a 4-star from me. And of course, you get the Thunder and Fire attack on her BB and Guardian typing.
Okay. Lance, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Once, like, I know we've touched a little bit on their 6-star forms, but like once they get their 6 stars, do you think they're going to be like the top of their leaderboard? Like Nova said, are we going to be like are they going to take over like number ones in their elements?
That depends on Gumi, because right now we're starting to see that with Trial of the Gods, Gumi knows that what teams are using now. Gumi knows that all of you guys are using Nova Maxwell with crits and SGX, So Gumi is countering that by making a lot of his units crit resistant. And because they're crit resistant right now, they're really hard to beat. We have to think of ways around it. We can't one-shot them anymore. So if Gumi decides to release a new map that has a lot of, just a regular questing map that monsters or bosses there are now crit resistant, then maybe we might be like, oh, okay. So since it's really hard to use Maxwell in the crit teams now, we'll just build a team that deals elemental damage and does spark damage, Mm-hmm. So when that happens, if Gumi decides to release, make more monsters like crit resistant, then you might start seeing a lot of, rainbow teams or element buffers. Yeah. So.
Okay. Right. And what do you think of Orna?
So Orna, I think besides her with the lightning whip, I think a lot of people they really like the high chance to crit in 6-star form. So it's at 50%, which is pretty high, just a little bit below SGX 60%. So finally, we're getting a unit that has decent crit buff. But the thing is, like her leader skill is nice because it gives you 100% chance of BB filling when they hit you. So that's really nice. That's what Nova was saying. But the thing is, her stats is just a little bit lower. Like if her stats, I know that her stats right now is almost the same as 6-star Douglas. That's how crazy it is. That's how strong units I've been getting now. Like starting units have like stats of 6-star Douglas set, and then their 6 stars have like like over 7,000, near 7,500 stats now, which is crazy. But the thing is, you know, her stats can be a lot better. So just because of that, I'll give her a 3-star. I like her. I like her 6-star form, but because her 5-star doesn't have as much stats as a current 6-star unit, I'm gonna give her a 3-star, and I'll give her anima, which is should be okay. Yes.
Okay. And it seems to me right now what I'm seeing is 5 stars for Orna.
Yep. 5 stars. People love her.
I see why.
It's the Thunder Whip.
It's the Thunder Whip.
People.
Yes.
Yes.
And what about Fiora?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. Like, what's with people in Hood? You know, you can't tell what's under there.
Yeah, 5-star
Might be
Fiora. It looks, I don't know.
yeah, it could be something creepy. You know?
That cloak.
Like, you don't know what's under there, but people like it.
Apparently, they can see into the future. Well, next unit up is UJ. What's special about UJ, Nova?
For me, nothing. That's the sad part. The way I see UJ right now is kind of like if you brought the leader skill from 5-star Michelle set and 5-star I believe Dia set in, which is the 5 lights. That kind of is so generic now that I don't like. It's good to have, but like I've seen it so many times that when I see another one, it doesn't shock me too much. And the thing that kind of disappoints me about the dark and light of this set at 5 stars, that they don't really do anything that could bring a Gra with right now. So I guess for me, Yuja at 5-star form is probably going to get a 2 stars from me right now, because there's already another unit that does that much better, and I think that having the same plain old leader skill right now with so many of that out doesn't really give her too much viability either. So based off of those 2 facts, I think that the only thing that she has going for her is her stat distribution, which makes her a little bit more tanky than other units. So I think, like, I think for me, I really like this stat distribution better, where you have more defense and like recovery. I don't think anybody really cares about the recovery stat too much. So as long as the defense of a unit I think is higher, like any type you get is okay. But for me, since I'm weird, I'll just get a Guardian, get that defense to like insanely high. So
Okay.
2-star Guardian.
Now when this set came out, of course I looked at their skills. I'm like, oh, this is really good. I should definitely summon. Did anyone like get like 3 UJs in a row or get a lot of UJs? I felt that this unit's like summon rates were up, because I ended up getting like I think 3 in like 5 or 6 tries. Did you guys get UJs? Did you guys summon on this fetch?
I don't think so. I only summoned once.
I didn't get that many.
Summon once.
I only summoned once, and I got
Lance?
the. Yeah, I only summoned once, and I got Ardan. So
Oh.
I was waiting for the 6-star form. That's
Oh,
why.
right. Okay,
Yeah,
Lance
yeah,
is
it's-
very clever. He worked.
Yeah,
excellent
yeah. So
6
I
stars.
just summoned once, and I got an Ardan. It was like, yay! All right, quit. Oh, you're ahead.
And Nova, do you have a UJ?
Yeah, I have 3, but I didn't get them that fast. I think I did, because for me, the way I see it is like I just want to make sure I have these units. That's how badly I wanted them. So I made sure I had all of them, which I do. And I'm pretty happy with all my typings, even though my Orna, I think, is a Lord. I think I have Fiora and Ardan as Anima, and the rest Guardian. So as far as Yuji goes, like I think she just likes you too much, Treylox.
Yeah,
Nova, are you one of those people who like if you get like a Lord UJ, you keep summoning until you get an Anima or Guardian?
No, because the thing is, I would have done that before because there were a lot less units, but now I'm starting to see like units that I didn't want to summon since like 5 months ago. So like once I see that, I'm like, okay, I need to tone it down. Like I don't need to try as much. Like typings are good and all, but
Right.
it's not the end all be all.
Yeah. By the way, so I guess I'm not the only one because it looks like Curse J has what, like 6 or 8 UJs. That is a ton. And then I read a lot from our Facebook group that a lot of people were summoning UJs as well. That's why I was asking. Anywho, Lance, it's your turn to rank UJ. Go ahead.
Speaking of summoning UJ, my girlfriend summoned an anima UJ last night. We were doing something within I think within 5 summons. So
Congratulations.
yeah, pretty summon. Okay. I like UJ, just not her 5-star form. I was doing Fortune Hunter a few days ago, and I was just thinking, man, there's like so many light and dark monsters in here. You know, if only if only there was a 6-star UJ. You know, I was like, I don't want to use, I don't want to use like 5-star Graw just for his light and darkness buff. You know, but if only I had a 6-star UJ, I think it would be a lot more fun. Yeah, because she has the highest hit count in this entire set, 21 hits. At her 6-star form. So I was like, man, I want an anima, 6-star UJ, but unfortunately she's not out yet. And like Nova said, her 5-star form is not that good. Like you wouldn't bring her to place any unit right now. And so that's what you have. Like she can't replace anything right now. So, but the thing is, when she gets her 6-star form, she's actually going to be useful. We have the heal over 3 turns. We hate that, right? I think heal over 3 turns. We got that from the Phoenix. We got that from Lancia, right?
Yes,
and we hate the heal over time, because that's like this is a heal. It feels like a heart crystal dropped on me, because it barely heals anything.
Yeah, who needs that kind of stuff?
But the thing is, this unit is her heal over time is really strong, twice as strong as Lancia, twice as strong as Phoenix. So she's healing each turn for around close to 2,000 heal a turn for 3 turns. So which isn't nothing now.
Okay.
Keep in mind that when you're fighting Maxwell, you're using the Ultri, and Ultri only heals about I'm just guessing right now, but around 2,600 if I remember correctly. So the thing is, UJ can actually heal you for like 2,100 or so every single turn for 3 turns. So that's not nothing now. So yeah, it's like if you bring her as a healer, because that's all you have, like it wouldn't be too bad. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you bring UJ as a heal, like the heal over 3 turns is not crappy like Lancia's or like the Phoenix. So, but the thing is, she doesn't have that yet. So, 5-star.
5-star.
Can't really do anything right now. So, I would agree with Nova. Like I wouldn't bring her for anything right now. So, oh god. But the thing is, the 50% attack to 5 elements, that's still really good. Because a lot of people, it's hard for new people to make a mono light teams, and if you're using a 5-star UJ, maybe you're a new player and you don't have like that much unit cost yet, so you can't get a full team of 6 stars. So you have to use a 5-star UJ. So that's the only condition I would see it. You can use a 5-star UJ and make a remote team, because the remote teams are easier to make than a mono team. So because of that and her AoE attack, I'll give her 3 stars and anima typing.
And the viewers vote for 3 stars, looks like, right? 3 stars?
Yes.
Viewers, yes, 15 votes.
Okay. The final unit of this batch is Ardan. So, I looked at Ardan, I spoke with Loki about Ardan, and Ardan looks like any other dark unit I may expect. What's up with Ardan? I was like, can't they make like more creative designs for dark units? They always have like a shade of purple. What's up with it?
I almost thought you were gonna say Ardan looks like Sephiroth.
Looks like who?
Final Fantasy. Sephiroth from Final Fantasy.
Oh, Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There is some resemblance there.
Yeah, white, the platinum white here, the katana sword, the wing.
Yes.
Yeah, the dark.
I wonder where they got the inspiration from.
Anywho, what do you guys think of the recent batch of dark units, their artwork? Are you impressed, or are you unimpressed just like me?
I think for me, it's like so generic. Like I see a humanoid, I know it's gonna be like black or purple, and it's been that way since.
It's dark. Like it should have other shades of dark.
I guess, but I guess it's just how elements like are designed in game. Like everything, like every unit is like a certain shade depending on its element. So that's how you can tell easily what element it is. So
it's too
I guess that's how it just.
I'm getting bored of these artwork. Anyways, go ahead, Nova, since you're talking about Ardan. Rate the unit.
Ardan, like, I guess in terms of style, he's a little bit better looking than other dark units, I guess. But in terms of his use, like he's just like a copy paste version of Yuja, except like you switch the attack and defense. He has more attack, less defense. So for me, Guardian straight up, and because of the fact that he's like copy and paste in terms of like the same exact thing as Yuja, I'd have to give him the same score, which is a 2, and like there's just so much more viability. And yes, the leader skill is important, but I think the chances of you getting a 50% attack up leader skill is pretty high in general. So I don't think he'll be used in his 5-star form at all. 6-star form, I think a lot of people want this unit, and I guess in general for this set they're gonna go crazy, and I think they should.
Okay, Lance, your turn. But before you rate, I have a question. Like, are you one of those people? Like, for me, there's not a lot of dark units I level up. Like Azael, never leveled him up. Ardan, I end up having a lot of dark crystals, dark gods. Do you have that same problem?
Isn't Azael a light unit though?
Yeah. Well, he has light and dark attack.
But he's a light unit.
Yeah, I think he's light. Yeah. So.
Oh, sorry, I meant Kaja. Sorry.
Kaja,
yeah.
Kaja's
okay.
definitely
So
dark.
Kaja.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the right. I'm like, okay. So yeah, Kaja. Like I never like the only ones I leveled up Elsa, and then when I got Gra, I was like, oh yeah, spend all my crystals on Gra, and then Ardan, I'm like, okay, guess just fuse them in. Do you have that problem?
No, I think you caught the end of the Lyra hype. You know, I think Lyra, when she first came out, she was so hyped that you couldn't have enough dark crystals, and you couldn't have enough dark totems and dark idols. You know, but I think you caught the end of that, so you didn't really needed Lyra so much. But I know when Lyra first came out, everybody wanted her. Everybody had like multiple copies of Lyra's when she first came out. So it was really hard to keep your dark crystals and dark totems and dark idols. But I think you were at the end of that for the Loden Rainbow team, and you were there, so you didn't see it. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering why I have so many, but yeah, go ahead and rank Ardan.
Okay, so Ardan, when I look at him, I'm just like, oh god, I just see like Cardis killer. I'm just like, because our next trial 4 is coming out, and it's gonna be Cardis, and Cardis is gonna be a dark element, and this guy, he gives us the light element and dark element to hit Dark Cardis for bonus damage. So when I look at him, I'm just like, oh yes, this guy is gonna be like so good for fighting Cardis, and I'm really excited for that because he also gives you when at his 6-star form, a chance to reduce enemy attack for 1 turn. So you have a 30% chance to reduce enemy's attack by 50% for 1 turn. Well, that's not high, and you probably have to bring units like Dharma Shell just for that sure block. I haven't seen any videos of Cardis yet, but I'm hoping it works like this. Like I haven't seen any videos yet, but I'm hoping it works like you cast a Super Berry Burst, and then they'll give you an icon to see if you're buff to reduce enemy's attack. If it applies, then you get the buff, and you see that it applies, and then you save your Darwin Shell or your Olu Super Berry Burst, because you already have like a shield on you. So this is really good that you get to save your Darwin Shell and your Olu's like guaranteed defense mitigation. So I'm so excited because you get that that dark and light buff, and you get that chance of reducing damage even more, and you get to save your Dharma Show and Olu's Super Brave Burst. So yeah, so really excited for it.
Just want to interject quickly. On I believe the Japanese server, they do have an option to click and see the buffs on all of your units, which is probably like taking into account what you just said. And I guess in addition to that, if you do need more damage reduction, and you can keep up your Super Brave Burst or Brave Burst 1/2 damage each turn, like having that extra 50%, I think, actually matters a lot, especially when you're in long, drawn-out fights. So, like that 2k HP that you save using that Super Brave Burst might mean you living instead of dying next turn or something.
Yeah, so definitely something to look out for. So I got a breaker already, but I don't know if I want a different type. But right now, I'll keep the breaker that I have.
And vote breaker.
and vote breaker. The thing is,
really breaker?
Well, the interesting thing is this guy. He has his base attack is 2300. So if you vote breaker, he gets like close to 2500. It's like 2498. So he hits like hits like hits like a truck, you know. But the thing is, a lot of these fights, I hate boss fights that have scripted attacks. You know, it does 15,000, you know, or instant kill. So I can see if this unit, if his sole purpose is fighting bosses, you know, like I wouldn't. I'm not saying like go ahead and bring breakers to boss fights, long drawn boss fights. But I'm saying if that's the type that you have, you know, go for it and use them and, you know, be proud, I guess. But the thing is, I'm still crossing fingers for anima type, and hopefully through all the damage mitigation, I still have enough HP left over to still fight. So anima, and for his 5-star form, we got so distracted because of the 6-star boss fighting potential, but I'll give him 3-star right now. Same as UJ. So
3-star anima.
Yep. 3-star anima.
Okay. I thought you were going for breaker. I already typed it in.
I have a breaker, but I want an anima. But
right.
if I don't roll a anima, you're gonna be seeing me use Ardan to fight Cardis breaker type. So
sweet.
That's exciting.
Now, Nova, you mentioned in the Japanese server that you can see all your buffs and debuffs.
Yes.
Where do you like tap on your phone?
You basically like hold down you're holding out for a Brave Burst in that sense, like to see it pop up, except you do it on the units, and then it goes into like a different screen mode, and then you can click different units around. But don't try it where you're like you put your tree like in the middle, and then like on the top you have like Grog, like you can't even click it. So
okay, like an
gotta rearrange your units so you can see them. Because we got a lot of big fat ones and really small ones.
Understood. What do the viewers think, Lance?
So the viewers thinks he deserves a 4-star.
Oh, 4 stars, Ardan. Oh man, he looks so boring. All right.
Yeah,
and then
the next viewers. Yeah, the highest vote after that is 5 stars.
What?
Yes, people love.
Right, everybody just love this set.
They love Final Fantasy 7. You can't say anything.
All right, guys. Well, you guys voted Fiora and Orna 5 stars, so I guess it balances out. Ready for the last set, guys?
Yeah, people are telling us that they lost track of what set we're on because it's been so long.
Okay. We are now on the most recent set, the 6-star set featuring Okina, Kula, Tia, Rogan, Narza, Kuda. We're starting with Okina, the fire unit. The first question will be for who do you guys want to see? Who do you want to go? Lance, Nova, you want to go first or Nova?
I think it's better if Lance goes. I get a lot of flack for this.
Okay, Lance.
Okay. I'll go.
Hold on. Let me just introduce Okina really quick.
Okay.
So Okina's BB heals and cures ailments. Her SBB cures Null's ailments like a tree. So can she become the replacement tree?
I wouldn't say that she's the replacement tree. I'm saying she's the substitute tree. You know, for when your tree is sick or your tree's not there, then she's the substitute tree. Okay, she can
Okay.
definitely slip for the trait. But the thing is, her heal, it doesn't heal enough. You know, like if her super brave burst, if it heals 2, like we get to throw the tree out the door. You know, like tree, we're gonna throw you out the window. But the thing is, her super brave burst, it doesn't heal. It attacks, which is nice. But the thing is, if you're getting just a regular brave burst heal, it doesn't heal as much as a super brave burst heal. So super brave burst heal is like almost twice of the brave burst heal. And sometimes, you know, when you have like I think Pika was telling me, look at my max out anima Kuda, you know, look at my maxed out anima Kuda with maxed out spheres and maxed out imps, you know. I look at it and it's like over 9,000 HP, you know, without any like Graw or Xville leader skill, you know. So when you have that much HP, you know, like 12,000, 13,000 HP, and you're using like this like regular heal, it's gonna be really hard to heal all that damage, especially if the enemy chunks you from 13,000 all the way to like 2,000 HP. You know, it's gonna be really hard to heal all of that, which is a regular heal. So that's the only thing that she's lacking, I think, from the tree.
Okay.
I really like that she can cure elements. You know, so like both for her Berry Burst and Super Berry Burst, it cures elements. You know,
Right.
so if you're healthy, but the thing is your team is just like stunned or like cursed or whatever, you can either choose you can just attack, you know, and if your team is really stunned and they're hurt, you use your Berry Burst. So yeah, it's like she offers a lot of flexibility, but the only drawback to her is that her heal doesn't heal that much, you know. So that's the only drawback on her. But the thing is, she's like so good. And the thing is, she's not like a tree, because sometimes I know you guys. Sometimes you guys use the tree to attack too. I've seen you guys use the tree to attack Maxwell. So a basic attack. And the thing is, this fire goddess Okina, like when she hits really hard. You know, she's not like one of those a killer or a status debuffer that doesn't do damage. You know, this unit can actually hit really hard too. Like, come on, like Breaker goes 2189. That's not nothing, you know, for a unit that can heal and cure elements. So because of this, I'm gonna give it a 5-star. I'm actually leveling up Okina right now, and
Anima,
5 stars.
is it?
Anima, definitely Anima. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Nova, you were going to surprise us with your ranking or your analysis.
Yes.
So, what's up?
Okay. So, before I say any of this, I just want you guys to know that I love you all. But I
we may
really
break our
don't like
relationship,
this
Nova,
unit.
after this.
I really don't like this unit, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the structure of how I guess I see this is that Okina in general is being compared to the tree. And if you compare a pure dedicated healer to kind of a hybrid healer attacker, kind of doesn't really make too much sense to me, because number one, if you're bringing a healer, you want it to do a good healing job. And I look at Okina, sure, she has an attack on her SVB, but there's no heal on top of that. So for me, looking at that, that's a huge like negative sign right there. Because if you're going to bring a unit to attack and heal, why don't you just bring a Fee or other units that give heart crystal buffs? Because the way I see it is that if you're gonna attack like her super brave burst, it's like 17 hits. That's great and all, but like you're gonna need her to heal too. So the way I see it is you're still going to need a healer on top of Okina, because as Lance said, right, like 2,600 for a BB heal is great and all, but that's not going to heal you nearly as much, especially with the stats going kind of crazy. We're already hitting over 10,000 easily, especially if you bring like even double Gra. You know, a lot of people bring double Gra stuff, and you will get the extra recovery, but like 2,600, I know for a fact that even with insane recovery buffs, that's going to be nowhere near that for Okina. And then the other side of it is, okay, sure, you're just going to bring her as a dedicated kind of attacker in a sense that can heal on her Brave Burst if you need a heal on top of like your healer, right? So the way I'm looking at it is that 17 hits for a Super Brave Burst on a healer is like kind of new, but I keep thinking like, why hasn't Gumi introduced this before? Like a healer that can attack, and like that brings me back to Dean, which was the opposite. Uses BB to attack and uses SBB to heal. And for me personally, I don't like the fact that Okina attacks and then it also has the status ailment reduction and negation, because for me, it's really simple to get the status ailments and negation from other units now that can attack better and have better Super Brave Burst than Okina.
Okay.
So like Okina is really good at doing a lot of things. And for me, I guess that's okay. But the way we have it now is just that I think there's just too many specialized units that can like replace Okina, and I just don't see myself like I see like other people using Okina. Like I think that she isn't bad, but like I don't see myself ever using Okina.
Oh,
so for that fact, I'm gonna give her a 3 and
wow.
Guardian typing. And I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I have to I gotta say what I like. This is what I think. Like I see a Okina, I see a Tree, I see a Tia, I see other healers. Like I think all of the other healers are better than Okina, so Okina's like on the same level as personally. Like I bump her in on the healing side at least to where. Oh my god, can I really say this? I probably should because. Oh man, I think like she's on the same level of a healer as like Tiara, and and for healing purposes that's not good. And then on the attacking end, you have so many other great fire units like Dia, increased battle crystals. You have like you can use Farlon for arena, you can use Fiora in the future for like, and like Luther does 28 hits. Use him instead. Even Michelle hits higher and gives an attack buff and fire boost. Like, if you're gonna bring a fire unit, why don't you bring something else? Yeah, okay.
I think you should have stopped Nova Finance Square. You're playing how to murder Nova,
Wow.
so
Yeah, I know. I knew I was going to like once we hit Okina, I'm going to like get so much flack for this, but that's what I think. And I don't see a lot of people using Okina either. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
they remark your gravestone of the year you died.
Oh man.
That was a lot to take in, Nova. I understand your ranking,
Uh-huh.
and
Like,
it's
that's just how
judged
I see
heavily
it.
on part because Okina is not able to heal very well. And,
Yes.
Yeah, it's not able to heal very well, and then she's going to try to attack. Like, sure, you want a unit that attacks. Like for me, that's great, but the correlation with what you're trying to bring her for, like a healer type, and then like sure she can attack, but she doesn't do any of those well. So for me, it's a 3. Sorry, guys.
And guys, we're talking to the champion of the Guardian typing. Nova doesn't like attacking, he likes defending. So Okina's attack just doesn't matter that much, It's all about the heals. Okay, Draython, you said you had a question. Can you repost that question? And once I see it, we will try to answer it for you. In terms of Okina, we're done here. And how many viewers?
19 votes, 5 stars.
Okay, so Nova, what do you think about a 4.3? Could you go to a 4.3 average?
I think I have to, otherwise.
Okay, well, some people in chat were saying, well, you might give her a 1, and then the average. Hold on, what happens if I give her a 1?
You give her 1 and the average goes to 3.
Yeah, 3.7. Okay, well, it would be that. Oh, oops. Okay. All right, guys, we got to move on so that you won't get too much hate
I
mail
don't
from
die.
Twitch.
Okay.
All right, we got to move on to the next unit. Next unit is water. It's Kula. Kula. Okay. She does something similar to Loden, but doesn't give that elemental buff. But it's very similar. There's like attack buff at 3 turns, and then there's like a BB fill. And then there's an attack. So, Lance, what do you think of Kula?
I think Kula is the reason why Michelle is dead to me. Like when I